session is titled Thailand Gateway Eastern Economic Corridor EEC. Our speakers include Dr. Uttama Savanayana, Minister of Industry, and Dr. Kanit Sangsubhan, the Secretary General of the Eastern Economic Corridor Office. Firstly, Dr. Uttama will give the overview of the policy, and then Dr. Kanit will discuss about the execution and progress of the project. May I now please invite Dr. Uttama on the stage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation with a round of applause.
ท่านประธานท่านผู้บริหารตลาดหลักทรัพย์นะครับกลต.ท่านผู้นำภาคเอกชนนะครับท่านผู้ลงทุนทุกท่านผมขออนุญาตในวันนี้ว่าก็จะใช้ภาษาอังกฤษนิดหนึ่งนะครับเพราะว่าเป็นครั้งแรกที่มีโอกาสที่จะได้สื่อสารกับนักลงทุนจากต่างประเทศในเรื่องของ EEC นะครับGood morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure for me to be with you today and really appreciate your being here and particularly your interest in the EEC, Eastern Economic Corridor. I thought what we would do today is that I would lead off with a background of EEC, how we have got here today. It's been a lot of work for the past year, and then my colleague, Dr. Kanit, who is the first Secretary General of EEC, will walk you through some of the details of the projects that will be taking place in the near future. First, let me say that you have heard from the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, and I'd like to say it again that the Eastern Economic Corridor, EEC, is a flagship initiative of this government. Now, the EEC has been designed as an integral component of Thailand 4.0, and it will serve as a key driver of an area-based investment 4.0 transformation with both economic and social dimensions. So as such, the EEC, from the very beginning, was not conceived in isolation, but it very much is related to Thailand 4.0's strategy, which basically, as you can see, to cap it again, Thailand 4.0 has 4 key dimensions. EEC is related to all of these. From the 20-year National Development Strategy that the Prime Minister highlighted, in terms of execution, we have Thailand 4.0, basically a roadmap of execution. And I stress execution, not just concept. 4 dimensions: infrastructure, massive infrastructure, upgrading through new investments. Deputy Prime Minister has alluded to this, explained this, that we have various projects, roads and rails within the EEC, and also throughout the country, connecting various strategic locations within Thailand and also with our neighboring countries and beyond. Second, target industries. You have heard we have identified 10 of these. 5 are existing ones, core industries that have started Thailand on the road of industrialization since about 35 years ago. Third, enterprises. These are about manpower to meet the requirements of 4.0 transformation, especially for the industrial sector. Here, we stress working with the SMEs. Not that we would neglect working with our larger colleagues in the private sector. Obviously, that will always be the case, but we are stressing the SMEs because 4.0 main target is to move Thailand towards a value-based, innovation-driven economy. And SMEs obviously are increasingly recognized as a dynamic source of innovation these days. Many countries are doing the same thing, and we are doing this in a systematic way. Fourth, people. This is general. Kon Thai 4.0. Prime Minister talked about this. This is, in fact, to me personally, the most crucial dimension. If we don't move together in the same direction, then the rest cannot achieve their goals. EEC, as I mentioned, are related to this. Next, please. For example, it is very much the case with the target industries that we have. I mentioned that there are 5. You can see it, first line below, first level below, call them first S-curves. These are the traditional strength industries that Thailand have developed. For example, the auto industry, smart, electronics, medical, wellness, food, obviously. We are agriculture-based traditionally, so food is one of the key industries here, along with agriculture. And with these, we are aiming to build new ones. That would be drivers for 4.0 for the future Thai economy. For example, robotics, very much related to other industries, the auto industry, medical industry. Today, the issue of aging society is at the forefront now, and technology, including robotics, we expect to play a key role in these industries. Medical hub, we want to build that, especially in the EEC. Aviation and logistics, this will be elaborated later, that one of the very key projects in EEC is Uttama Airport. And it will not be just the airport itself, but it would be brand new aviation industry that would rise there. Biotechnology, bioeconomy, a natural and logical extension of our food, our petrochemical industries, so that we can create innovation-driven, higher value-add products and services. Digital, very much related to all. Digital industry would serve other industries, and also in and of itself can be created. And most of these, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of actions regarding these industries will take place in the EEC. Next, please. Now, how do we do these things? Again, I stressed at the very beginning, we place an emphasis, very strong emphasis on execution. We can draw a lot of great-looking PowerPoints and so on, but our job here, my job here, the Secretary General's job here is to make things happen, along with our colleagues in other agencies, the private sector in particular. The model is the PPP that the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister mentioned, public, private, and I would add the education sector partnership. And we have been putting this into practice regarding the target industries and also the EEC. Meaning we work closely with the business leaders, NGOs, people, government agencies, and the education sector to create to move forward the agendas regarding the target industries. So we get the necessary government commitment, the necessary private sector's commitment, and we add what is needed, special privileges, many of which are first for Thailand, never existed before. Today we have them, and we're putting them in good use. Fourth dimension down there, very crucial, very critical, international linkages and collaboration, the participation of the international community in all of our strategic initiatives is a must. Target industries, today we have formed about 11 PPP groups, Pracharat groups, each tasked with a clear agenda to form the roadmap, clear goals of what we want to do for each group. For example, the auto industry, target industries. There is a group that has been working on that. And today, we have a roadmap for the future auto industry. We want to move, obviously, with a trend towards the EV, electric vehicle, future mobility. The roadmap has been completed. It has got the approval of the cabinet, so it's got full support. And today I'm pleased, you may have heard this, that there'll be new investments starting later this year, throughout the next 2 years, of about 20 billion baht towards into the auto industry that would take place in the EEC. So it's a firm commitment, it's happening, and that's what we want to see with these. So the PPP, in a nutshell, it offers combined expertise, early commitment, clear execution roadmap, and very important, continuity. So you don't have to worry that after the next election, things will change. I mean, that's natural. But if we do the job right here, then things will continue for these initiatives. Now, as I mentioned, we closely link target industries to specific areas, Thailand, suitable for their development. The same model, PPP, also applies to the EEC in the design, in moving forward concrete steps. Next, please. To sum up the picture, putting Thailand 4.0 into action. Okay, if you look at my left, the pyramid represents the enterprises, the manpower, focusing, giving a particular focus on the SMEs, the startups. Nothing fancy, you all know this, I'm sure. There are different segments of SMEs, and we want to work closely with them. We are working closely with them. The government has introduced a new set of measures, initiatives that focus on supporting the SMEs at the very grassroots level in different communities throughout Thailand, taking into account the area development strategies. So we listen to what the provinces need. They differ in terms of their strengths, their interests, and so do the SMEs. We work with them on that basis. We have created a new network of SME support and rescue centers throughout Thailand. There is one for every province, and there is an SME PPP group headed by the provincial governor in every province so that we can ensure the access, the ability to reach the SMEs. We have special support funds for the SMEs. The first fund is about a little bit over $1 billion US. We can add to that if we can show substantial progress. So those are about people. Then the target industries, as I mentioned, we have clear targets. We're moving forward. The auto industry is getting into gear, moving in the direction that we want EV, control units, battery production in Thailand, for sure. Those are the real technologies that we want to see in terms of developing core technologies that Thai people are capable of doing. Obviously, we need first the technology transfer, so we are willing to provide what is needed to get there. For example, in this case, we know that the EV industry is not going to happen tomorrow or even next year, and you can see it in Europe, Japan, in China. Well, China is happening a bit quickly, but it will still take some time, we know that. So when I'm saying EV, it encompasses different types of electrical vehicles, electrically driven systems, hybrids, and so on. So we take into account the details here. Another one is bioeconomy. Likewise, the bioeconomy roadmap has been approved by the government, prepared by the PPP group on bioeconomy. There are plans, concrete plans, to invest in the EEC where we have a large petrochemical refinery complex there. So the bioeconomy is expanding there, and also outside of EEC as the next phase. That would require substantial amount of investment also in the next few years. The core technology, you can see people, target industry, everything related to area-based development, always. Area-based development. It's no use if we do this and then the people in Thailand do not get the benefit. You get resistance. If we do strategic initiatives of this size, the EEC and so on. So we make sure that area-based development is an integral part of our target industry strategy, our People's 4.0 strategy. In this particular case, it's the EEC. It's the EEC. It's an economic seaboard that follows or is integral with Thailand 4.0. And you will see that as Dr. Kanit presents the details. So it's 3 provinces, major provinces, Eastern Seaboard of Thailand. You can see that. Next, please. Now, the obvious question is, this probably sounds great. Is it doable? Now, this is one of the most ambitious initiatives that this government has launched. Very challenging, but I am convinced, we are all convinced, that it's doable, very much doable, and that it will succeed if we continue to use the approach that I described to you. And there are a few points that would contribute to the success of the EEC. First of all, we are not starting from ground zero. We are not. We're starting in this particular area of Thailand because it's an area of our traditional industrial strengths. The industrialization of Thailand started about 35 years ago in this very particular area. Auto industry, electronics, tourism, of course, petrochemical, all started here. Japanese industries has played key role on the eastern seaboard. So we have a base where we can start from, very suitable, very powerful base where the EEC can move forward. Next, please. Second, in terms of connectivity, EEC as an area, as you can see, is strategically located, very suitable for connectivity with other regions around us. The travel time, for example, from New Delhi and Shanghai, 4 hours, 30 minutes. Tokyo within 6 hours, so on. So strategically, it's very suitable. Next, please. In terms of connectivity still, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that the EEC is very central to connectivity within Thailand and outside of Thailand, especially with the CLMV and beyond. We have laid down plans for the north-south corridor development. Rails, of course, and roads will play a key role. Deputy Prime Minister mentioned the new rail system. We're working with China, so on. And that will be the basis for the developments, other developments that would follow. Commercial complexes, residential areas, new cities, and so on, can happen along the corridors, north-south, and similarly east-west, that can connect from Vietnam all the way, Laos, through Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, and Myanmar beyond to India. These things have been discussed, are still in discussions, but everybody sees the same thing, I believe, that connectivity is key to collaboration and common growth. EEC lends itself very well to this in terms of creating such connectivity. And if I may add, it's not only physical connectivity, rails and so on, it's also digital infrastructure. We have been in discussion with, for example, China, Japan, even India. They all have initiatives ongoing with respect to digital connectivity. We're doing the same thing in Thailand, and we are also working with some of the countries in creating digital connectivity. Next, please. Another reason, I alluded to this before, is that the EEC is where things happened in terms of industrialization of Thailand 35 years ago. So those key industries are located there. We are building on these key industries, adding new ones that will be synergistic to these industries. So not from ground zero. We have a base. We have the manpower. We have the infrastructure, the industrial infrastructure, but we need to build more. That's the whole point of the EEC today. Massive investment, comprehensive, taking into account all dimensions, not just the industries, people, cities, infrastructure, education, all together. Next, please. So those are the key, I think, factors that, together with the commitment of the government, would ensure that the EEC can become a reality. How to? We've been working, as I mentioned, on the EEC for about a year, a little for a year. I think what we have achieved is pretty good in terms of tangible results. Now, in terms of investment, we started with the infrastructure because this would show the business community, local and international, that the EEC has the potential for developments in various aspects, as long as we have the right infrastructure in place for you. So the first group I mentioned earlier, the physical infrastructure, mainly the rail system, high-speed, dual track. The second core areas that will be developed in the first phase of the EEC, the industrial clusters, the target industries. Fourth, tourism. EEC lends itself very well to tourism, but we need to upgrade that, taking advantage of EEC's location and tourist attractions throughout the area, connecting them with other areas outside of EECs and also with our neighboring countries, so that everyone can benefit from such tourism connectivity and collaboration. Fourth, the core areas that will be developed is the creation of new cities that would cater to the needs of the people in the area, that would see upgrading of the living quality, and also importantly would cater to the needs and the requirements of the international community that would be present in the EEC area. So in 3 provinces, at minimum, there will be 3 new so-called smart or eco-cities. We are in the planning stage right now for these cities. Next, please. To give you sort of a forward-looking expectation on the EEC a little bit. We are planning for these projects, and we are hoping to see, we're anticipating that in 5 years, these things would lead to a combined investment about $43 billion US. Now, as you can see, in different activities, the international airport, the airport city, the seaport, Maptaput, Lam Chabang, the train systems that I mentioned, motorway, the industries themselves would lead to significant new investments, tourism, new cities, and the infrastructures, healthcare, and education. These are sort of what we want to move forward, and we have concrete plans to do that. Now, today, there are tangible progress. Give you an example. I mentioned earlier the auto industry. Located in the EEC, there will be new investments taking place, expanding the capacity there. Robotics will happen in the EEC. The roadmap I will be presenting to the cabinet in 2 weeks. We have worked with the private sector, and they're ready to commit about 12 billion baht in the first year, new investment to create the robotic industry in the EEC area. The first year, this particular year, what we're doing, the EEC office, so on, is that we are in the preparation stage. We have the master plan down. We are doing the detailed feasibility studies of each project. Each project We have been contacting investors, the international community, as well as local business leaders to really get their feedback, get their advices, their requirements, if they are going to invest in the EEC. And we are very specific. We meet the associations, and we also meet individual companies as well. We have teams that do that, and that has helped us form these projects. So they are not, just conceived. They were not conceived just by the EEC office or even the cabinet. These are from working with the private sector. And we have the structure to drive the execution of the EEC. This structure has been created by special executive order of the Prime Minister. That particular order created at the very top the EEC Policy Committee, chaired by the Prime Minister himself, and has all the relevant people in there, both public and private sectors. So this body basically has the power to make key decisions with regard to the EEC and all those that are related to the EEC's development. The next level down is the EEC Management Committee, chaired by Minister of Industry, that looks like me in the meantime. So we are one level down, getting close to the day-to-day operations, which is handled by the Office of the EEC. The Secretary General leads the team there. So they handle all day-to-day activities, so that EEC, as a flagship initiative, has full support, has the commitment for the execution. Next, please. Now, my last slide here before I give the floor to Dr. Kanit, and he will walk you through more details. Concrete steps. We have targeted about six priority projects that will happen starting next year. First, Uttama Airport. Second, the high-speed train that would link the two international airports in Bangkok to the new airport. Not the new, the Uttama Airport already exists, but it will link to Uttama Airport, the high-speed train, the two main Thailand's main international airport within an hour. The seaports, couple of seaports that are major ports serving EEC and beyond. So next is another priority project. Target industries, I have explained to you, those are in full swing. The cities, we are in the planning stage. The Ministry of Interior are very much involved in planning out these cities with the participation of the communities in the area. And last, the digital and innovation incubators. These are large areas, large projects that will come up in the EEC, and they will serve other industries. They will serve as incubators for SMEs, for startups that are very much part of what we are all doing here. And I like to close by saying that we very much appreciate the participation of both the local and international community. We have been getting a lot of information, useful feedback, direct feedback from the business community, both in Thailand and outside of Thailand. The Deputy Prime Minister mentioned that we all went to Japan and we did an agreement between the Industry Ministry and METI, Japan's METI, Ministry of Economy, Trade and Investment, a very first of its kind, that we would closely collaborate on Industry 4.0 transformation for the target industry that Thailand has identified and are of interest to Japanese business community. We would focus working together on the EEC, and we will work also on the SMEs. The very first such agreement, and in September, the METI Minister, Minister Seko, would lead a large delegation in conjunction with Kind & Ren, JETRO, and JCC, Japan Chamber of Commerce, a large delegation of Japanese industries to visit Thailand so that we can move forward on the agreement. EEC is very much within the interest of the Japanese delegation. They have told us what they would like to see, what they would like to talk about. So it will be a major event in September. And it reflects the interest that we are getting with respect to the EEC, target industries, the 4.0, and so on. And that's not the only delegation that is going to visit. Some have already visited with us, from China, obviously, from Hong Kong, so on. And we're working also with our friends in Europe and in the US. And as I mentioned earlier, we are proactive in reaching out, in talking to different people so that we can really move forward in a concrete manner with respect to the EEC. Now, I'd like to give the floor then to my good colleague, Dr. Kanit, who breathes and lives EEC every day, 24 hours a day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Uttama Savanayana, Minister of Industry, for giving us an overview of the policy of Eastern Economic Corridor. Next up will be about the execution and progress of the Eastern Economic Corridor project by Dr. Kanit Sangsubhan, the Secretary General of the Eastern Economic Corridor. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm applause for Dr. Kanit.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Chaiwat, Chairman of the SET, and Dr. Uttama, and Dr. Aripong here, and mainly to your investor. I have 15 minutes around. I don't want to hold you back on your lunch, 15 to 20 minutes between times. In order to make things smooth, could it be possible I use Dr. Uttama's slide instead and follow what it has been before, so get him up. I want the slide number 8. I want the slide number 8. Okay. Actually, I am the macroeconomist. Many of you guys know me in macroeconomic. No, Dr. Uttama slide, not my slide. This is my slide. Okay, this is my. I'm working on macroeconomics for many years. We know with Dr. Somkit, Dr. Uttama, and Dr. Chaiwat that Asian century whatsoever decade has come. Now, what we are trying to do in EEC is that we bring, as Dr. Uttama said, we bring the Eastern Seaboard project that has been launched for the past 30 years, come up to be the new era, meaning the uplifting of the Eastern Seaboard to the next level according to the technology change. So the target of the EEC is to open from the inside, blown up from the inside, in order to prepare Thailand to cooperate with CLMVT and other countries and bring investment bases to here, bring technology here for the next generation. So that's the themes of EEC. Now, I want this slide because yesterday I have been discussed with the think tanks they call Thai-China Strategic Institution. They talk about the strategy here. Now, I have learned that the government of Kunming, Yunnan Kunming, has proposed a new project that Kunming government and Kunming people will have the benefits with the link down south to Thailand. So that he proposed a link through all the lines of the Thai-China rail, from Kunming to Vientiane to Laos and to Thailand, and then at the end of the route, they end up at EEC. So that during this time around, they will propose 4 or 5 kind of area development. The first one already done in Kunming, the big one, around 200 square kilometers. That's the special economic zone in Kunming. The second one they are doing along the border of China and Laos. They propose another 2. The first one among the border of Thai and Laos, that has the area around 30 kilometers between Nong Khai and Vientiane. They said that can be set up as special economic zone for trade and investment there. And the third one they're talking about is the eastern, to cut to the east-west corridor around, Khon Thai called Khon Kaen Ban Pai, around that one. And the fourth one is EEC. So that if you see these pictures, it's meaning that EEC is not for Thailand. EEC is linked to the cooperations among the countries. It's the GMS program as we discussed before, and it's going to be more. The other one that Dr. Uttama has been shown is the graph of the linkage of the east-west corridor there. We have the train system to Cambodia already. It just left by 9 kilometers. We are going to do. Within a couple of months, it's going to be finished. And the other one, we try to link to the way Seaboard. So that there will be the intersection around Sangsubhan of the EEC. That to be the logistic hub. If you ask me what to be the next logistic hub in Thailand, well, looking at Sangsubhan, this might be the case. That's the first one I would like to introduce to you. And the second one is of Dr. Uttama slide, actually, is the slide number 11. Slide number 11, Dr. Uttama has been said that, okay, connectivity, okay, doability is okay, and the EEC has 4 areas. 4 areas meaning that the infrastructures, the target industries, tourists, and the community and city. Now this is the investment part that might concern your interest. We have $43 billion around to be there. Our latest estimate of the 5 big infrastructure projects, meaning Uttama, around 200 million stay there. The second one is the high-speed train. This time around, the high-speed train now is linked 3 airports combined. As you know, for those who come in today, you are from Suvarnabhumi. We have another Don Mueang. Suvarnabhumi and Don Mueang has the excess people more than their capacity now today. 17 million people a year, meaning that you need a 3rd airport. And the new airport will be Uttama, and Uttama will be linked with high-speed train to 50 kilometers speed, linked by 42 to 45 minutes. That's what lead to investment around, right now, to around 200 billion baht. Okay, the first one is 200, the second one is 200. Lam Sabang, we want to modernize them. It's going to take 6 years or so. If we want to do that, the investment of Lam Sabang would be around 80 to 90 billion baht. So that on this 3 project is the key one will be all close to 500 billion baht already. meaning that the whole 5 projects combined would be around $17 billion. And that's the infrastructure investment side we're talking about. And Dr. Uttama and Dr. Somkit said, this project will be on a PPP basis. We, as a government, will provide the policy, will provide a good investment environment for this project, but you guys will do the investment. Okay, that's what my point. The other one is on the industries. So this is a crucial part. The reasons we have the industry here, we want to upgrading technologies and upgrading the investment in Thailand. 500 billion baht seems to be a little bit underestimated by now, because only for the bioeconomy that PTT want to invest in the next 5 years is already close to 200 billion baht. So another 300 billion baht is not easy. It's not difficult for me to do. And actually, the data shows from the BOI that when we start the program of EEC, so the windfall effect is that the investor that's already inside the country has been expanded their investment. Dr. Uttama said something about yesterday. We have the teams from we call JCC, the Japanese group. They preaching that they will continue to do investment in Thailand in 2 stages. One, they will uplifting their own investment to the new technologies. And the second one, they want to uplift doing something more in terms of technologies. That's remind you of Dr. Somkit said when we have the trip, he has a trip to Japan. Prime Minister Abe agree that from now on, investment outside of Japan, including investment in Thailand, should be uplifting to the new technology level of the world. They also interested in another 2 things. The second thing is infrastructures. They said they know how to manage the airport. They know how to manage these high-speed trains, so we invite them to be in. And the other one is the SME. So that's the part that I think that we're gonna do some more of this. Next slide, please. Slide number 12. Okay. This is what I promised to Dr. Uttama and Dr. Somkit and my Prime Minister. If I fail to do this one of the 5 projects, they will kill me. Okay, the first one is to get up and running of the Eastern, we call Eastern Airport City. Now it's up and running because the policy committee has approved this one as the national policy, as national program. We carved the land 6,500 rai to be the airport city. Could you please go another slide, please? Another slide. This one. Now today there has one runway, the yellow one on the left side. We will add another one, the new runway in, and there will be the airport city. Means they will have the 60 million people capacity in the future, but we require around 15 to 20 in the next 5 years. Gonna finish. And they has the maintenance, repair, overhaul. We have the new 3 trade zones. We have the training center, and they will have the high-speed train get into the airport. Okay, that's a part of the first one that I have. Come back one slide, please. The high-speed train is there. The high-speed train is second program. Okay, what we're gonna do is put the high-speed train into connecting the 3 airports. Connecting the 3 airports. And the third one is we're gonna have the 3 seaport, deep seaport upgrading. The three seaport upgrading will be linked by the 2-track rail in order to use that rail to carry the cargo thing. Now, the cargo transportation by the rail in that area is just 7%, so it's too low. It's much reach to the international standard of 30%. So that we try to do. The fourth one is we're gonna get the leading industries in. We have the program with the Airbus to do the good things in terms of aviation. We have a lot of company interested in. And Dr. Somkit said that we went to Japan, a lot of investors come in, medical hub, those ideas come that you see in the news already. Lazada, Alibaba already committed to TAM. The next step, we will go to China and get the good deed of China come to here as well. And the fourth one, after industry, is the city that we have to do. And the last one, we have two parks, the digital park and innovation park. That will be the top notch of the thing. So go one more slide, please. This is the airport. This is the Lam Chabang Seaport. So we can expand it up into 18 million TU a year. So that's on the plan. It's already there. And the next one is a high-speed train connected three airports combined. As I said, we have to have this one, and we have to have this high-speed train because it's only means to connect it, the Uttama airport to Bangkok within less than an hour. So that is a crucial thing. Okay. And the last one is the industry that Dr. Uttama has been said something along the line. I would like to add something on the slide number 20 then. The law and everything is in progress. No need to worry about that. The government, the Prime Minister, and everyone do take care of EEC in a good way. We are in the special more CFC. I am in the more CFC mode to do the work. And 2 weeks ago, when they will want to get the law into the parliament, they said, "What do you need more?" So I said, "I need 3 more." So they give me 3 more. We work in the mode of more CFC again. The law will finish by the next couple of months. And what they have in the law is that it will specifically say something about the process of doing the thing, the PPP process that we need, the incentive that provide in EEC, the special infrastructures to promote development. We're going to have social science, international school, those and this. So they already issues as a government policy, as you know before. And the last one is community-based development, inclusive process will be there. So come back to the Dr. Ma said that, okay, EEC is put the Thailand 4.0 into practice in the particular area. So we left nobody behind. Okay, ขออีกอันได้ไหมครับ the last one. Okay, in summary, in EEC, there has 4 core areas, as been discussed before. The infrastructures, the target industries, the tourist industries, and also the city and community. So that's the 4 part. Cheating a little bit, because all the infrastructure project except the airport is not new. It has been pursued for some years. I came in as a Secretary General, tried to put it in the same perspective, link them together in a good way. For example, in the old days, the high-speed train is not linked to the airport. I don't know why, but today it's linked. Today it's linked. I'm assure you that it's linked. The seaport has to link with the double track in order to uplift the number of cargo there on train. So it has been done now. Now the other one on the industry side, we will use the land belong to the existing industrial estate. We do not acquire the new land at this stage. For example, Amata has a land left around 200 or 300 right. So make use of them. Announce them in a good way that they're going to be the robotic or aviation industries, and we help them to make it so. We need not to use all the piece of land in the 3 provinces, all of them. Meaning we need some part of it as already assigned as industrial estate. Last week, Professor John Casada, he's a champion, he's the #1 in the world doing aviation. He said, when you have the airport, the aviation's what we call atropolis can be 30 kilometers away from the airport, the big city, the scale of the city, around 30 kilometers in diameter. So that can cover almost of the EEC already. The same thing applies. There are some piece of land belong to the Thai Industry Estate Agency. So we will try to use that land and match the demand of the investor, industry investor into that area. The tourist industries now is that we have the committees working on it. Minister of Tourism is the chairman. Now the link between Pattaya and Rayong has been complete. In the old days, if you go to Pattaya, you go to Bangladesh, it's gone because the Navy is there. They don't allow you to in. And after that, you have Rayong. So now when you open the airport, the strip of Pattaya to Rayong has been completed. So we are planning the whole strip of Pattaya to Rayong as a big area development for tourist industry. Okay, I have my slide, just call for 2 slides. I have, can you click my slide up? Yes. So show you some of the example. Okay. Yes, that one. You go ahead with it. Can I use this one? Yeah. Okay. ไปสไลด์ไปเข้าไปเลยครับ1 2 3 1 2 3 4ไปเลยอันนี้ซ้ำกันthis one this is the new information to you guys. I have 2 new information for you. We already scale the number of money to do the infrastructure, and this one the example of the joint between TG Thai Airways and Airbus. They agree to set up in the near future the joint venture between the two to do the MRO, the maintenance and overhaul kind of thing. This is a smart hangar. They call technical term smart hangar. But not only the heavy maintenance is HMMRO. They are talking about 5 modules combined, which is a light maintenance, training center, painting shop, logistics, and the composite structures. This for Airbus 750, the new Airbus. So the whole plane has been made by the graphite composite. So we have to have the composite structure there. And also they were going to do the MRO campus, do the big training. So this is the example of the project that's going to happen in EEC. This is just one of them. The work between TG and the Airbus. According to the plan, they have to pass the process of PPP, those and this. The JV will come up as Dr. He's the chairman of the Thai Airways. He said first quarter next year, the JV will come. Okay. That's one of the project. And the other project will come as well. Dr. Uttama has been said about the Lazada, those and this, Lazada, Alibaba, and I'm talking about working in a medical hub with Fujifilm in Tokyo, those and this will come. And this is one of the example of them. Could you go one more slide? Click more slide, yeah, some more. I think I will give you the last information about of EECI, which is belong to the Ministry of Science. They help us to set up this EECI. ขอสไลด์อันได้ไหมครับมีหรือเปล่ากลับมาก็แล้วกันโทษที EECI will be at the Rayong provinces. They already lent the land from PTT 3,000 rai. They will do the high level innovation park there. They're talking about automations, robotic, whatever, Internet of Things. The high technology will be there. And next slide, please. And the new one is the EECD. Dr. Pichet, who's the Minister of Digital and Economy. They're going to set up the digital park around the Sri Lacha. That's where That's where the high speed under the sea cable came up. They claim, I don't know whether it's true or not. They claim to be the place where the internet, your Wi-Fi, is the fastest in Southeast Asia, so that they will draw the investor there to do the work and to do the research. Okay, I will leave you with this. I spent 10 minutes over time. EEC is the new development of investment. We are going to move on the mode that the government provide the policy. The investor will do the investment. We do not want to increase the government debt or the country debt by EEC. So that will be interested to you. I have been discussed with the SET teams that we should prepare how to finance the EEC. It will come by the end this year or early of next year as the latest. We're going to complete all the infrastructure project, the 5 projects within this year or the first quarter next year as the latest. Thank you very much.